Thank you, Chad. Great friend of the show and friend of Nashville is Jeff Fisher. They made a Yellowstone joke. They said they weren't sure if they were tossing to Birmingham or season 5 of Yellowstone with you and I sitting here. But nonetheless, here we go. And they're tossing to the coach that has the number 1 pick tonight in the USFL draft.
You know what? How's that for a coincidence? You know, we were all the time that led up to to the lottery and who's going to pick first, and all hype around the quarterback selections. And then I actually and I can date everybody there. Remember, we had storms coming in last Thursday, so the lottery took place about 4:10 in the afternoon, and I was out in Kingston Springs and no place to take cover, so I had to get in the car to look for cover to run from the storm, and so I missed the lottery. And then all of a sudden my phone's blown up going, "You got the number 1 pick." So I said, okay, I got the number 1 pick. I better make good use of it.
Well, everyone thought you have the number 1 pick because you were the last coach to join the league. And they were like, oh, Fisher needed the number 1 pick. That is. So
you've been talking to some of the other coaches that are kind of soured a little bit because they didn't get the pick. Well, let me tell you about this group of quarterbacks. This group of quarterbacks is going to be really fun to watch play and so on and so forth. So I'm kind of interested to find out what it's going to look like.
So I want to get into some details of this in a moment, but you are without a doubt looking for an advantage. You were doing that with the Titans. You were with the Rams. Are you constantly combing through the rules of the draft, the rules of the league, to figure out how you can find your foot in the door that no one's thought of before? Because you were known for that and still are.
Well, I mean, I think it will start with the rules. The playing rules are going to be, NFL playing rules for the most part, with some modifications, some player safety rules that we're going to put into effect. I think they're going to be good, positive for the league. It's going to be a little quicker game, a 35-second play clock. We'll be able to communicate to our quarterbacks and to the middle linebackers and so on and so forth. Mike Prayer's done a great job with his staff out there. He'll be handling all the replay reviews from Fox in LA. There may be even some live communication during the game and interaction between the head coach on the sideline and Mike in the booth, just to enhance things. So those kind of things are well in place. And so from a rule standpoint, there are things that you need to look at and bend a little bit. It's like, I don't think there's any secret. This age of analytics and everybody talking about the 4th down stuff and all this historical data and it's no surprise to you or to anybody else that I feel like you got a better chance of converting a 4th and 7 with your punt team than you do with your offense. So that may tip my hat ever so slightly as far as who we select as a punter. So, there's a lot of things like that. And then, the interesting thing about it is the roster size and putting it together and then the practice and this practice squad that we're going to have in place and just moving people back and forth and surrounding yourself with the best players possible. I have a staff. It's not a large staff. I don't know if you've talked about coaching staffs, but briefly. So there's a head coach and there's 6 assistants, and that includes your coordinator, your 3 coordinators, and then do the math. There's 3 left. So everybody's going to be hands-on coaching, and so you have to spend some time with respect to what do we want to look like on offense, what kind of personnel do we want to use, what are we going to do defensively. I think you're going to see a lot of college flair in this game. You're going to see up-tempo offense, RPOs, all those things, and so you're going to surround yourself with coaches that understand that, and so it's been an exciting process, and then add the personnel thing. Then the reason we're sitting here tonight, and that I think there's close to 700-800 young players that have signed contracts with the USFL, and they're not all going to get drafted, but we have a huge player market to which to choose from. So, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, you don't have the time nor the staff to go ahead and do all those evaluations. So you're doing them real quick. So we have a really good feel. We're ready to go tonight. I'm excited about it, and I feel like the way the numbers are shaking up. For example, there's going to be 24 selections of offensive tackles tonight, and defensive ends for that matter. Well, I'm going to get 3 of. Everybody's going to get 3. So the odds odds. If you like 15 or 16 guys, the odds of getting your guys are going to be really pretty good. So we've even been on the phone a little bit with some guys, checking them out, and so yeah, things are going to get going really quickly.